Hello, loves, and welcome back to another video. My name is Jill, and my channel is Purposefully Plan. And this is the journal that I have created. It's called Purposefully Plan. And I made this journal very intentionally. It is full of all of the ways that I enjoy journaling, the things I want to capture in a month or in any given week, and just how I like to ensure that I am following through on all of the things that I want to make sure I bring into my life, including self care, manifestations, goal setting, new moon intentions, full moon releasings and completions, and monthly reflections. So you'll see here that this is my January cover page. There's a space here for a brain dump on the left hand side where I title it On My Mind, and I capture any kind of notes here that pop up. Maybe it's a new idea, maybe it's something that's been on my mind that I just want to get onto the paper, or it could be affirmations or other manifestations that I want to bring in. Below that section, I have another place where it says I affirm, and this is for an affirmation for the month. Maybe it's something that you want to bring in, an energy or a quote or something that you plan to do and follow through on that you want to affirm for yourself for the month. And then you'll see a task list on the left hand side, as well as a place for self-care bingo. And the intention here is to go for a bingo blackout every month. So if you don't know what that is, it is filling out the entire chart or crossing off the entire chart. So when I do a flip through at the end of this video, you'll see that self-care bingo all filled in and ready for January. But the intention here is to choose 16 different things, or maybe it's 12 different things and some of them are repeated. However you want to fill it out, make sure that all of the boxes are filled out with different ideas or fun things that you can do for yourself or with your partner if you have a partner, or with friends or your kids or loved ones. And it's an invitation to remind yourself to take care of yourself. So some things that I put in this space are things like date night, yoga, meditation, play with the kiddos. And like when I say that, I mean something specific because I play with my kids every day. But when I put it in my self-care bingo, it's usually something a little bit bigger, like taking them to the zoo or going to the science center or something that's a little bit more than just the regular day to day. And it just acts as a reminder that this is a good and fun thing to do at least once a month. And then on the right-hand side of these pages, you'll see where I have a space for new moon on blank, in blank, and then intention. And what this is a space for you to call in an intention, a goal, an energy that you want to bring in with the new moon. And you'll see here I'm filling it out. The new moon is on the 11th and it's in Capricorn. If you watched my first video, you'll see that in the journal there is a section called Moon Themes Through the Signs. And what that will provide you with is a certain type of energy that the moon happens to be in during that time frame. And you can set your intention according to the energy of that moon. So for example, with the moon in Capricorn on January 11th, Capricorn moon really brings a need for structure and for planning. It brings desires for achievement and manifestations. It's a very ambitious energy. And I love that we're experiencing this moon at the end of the year, moving into rather the new year, right? It's like this perfect opportunity to really be ambitious with our goals and our intentions. Just remember to be very kind while you're crushing your goals. Sometimes I think we can be pretty hard on ourselves when we're setting goals, especially in the new year. We have very big plans. I hear this from the majority of my clients and the majority of the people I talk to. They set these giant goals for themselves. And then come February, they realize that maybe this was a little bit too much to take on all at once. And then they end up just doing nothing instead. And then comes with that maybe feelings of shame or guilt or unworthiness for not being able to follow through on what you've set your intentions around. So my invitation is to be kind with yourself while you're setting these goals, and choose intentions that establish traditions and that are slow and steady. Maybe they're career or business oriented, but in general they're very practical, right? We want these goals to be something that you can carry with you throughout the year. So it's a perfect time to set something like that in January with this new moon. And then on the full moon, it's going to be in Leo. And again, this is something that you want to think about completing or releasing. It could be a portion of the intention that you set for the new year. So, for example, I have a goal for this new year, which is to start the YouTube channel. And here I am. This is my second video explaining how my journal works. It happens to be December 19th when I'm recording this, so I'm a little bit ahead, which feels really good. And also, I know that I'm not going to be complete on this intention come January 25th with the full moon. But there's going to be part of this intention that I might be complete with. And when you're thinking about the moon in Leo, the Leo moon wants to connect us to our inner child. The Leo moon is warm and generous and loving, and it's also easily threatened when we're in our ego, and we'll probably want to seek some attention and stand out. So you want to think about things that you're ready to release around maybe that energy. So, for example, with my goal of having this new YouTube channel, what has come to completion for me for this particular month? Well, it would be this video. It would be this initial 2024 plan with me, my very first YouTube video, and then the second one this January, explanation of how to use my journal and my creativity in it, and not thinking about it too much and not worrying about who's going to watch it or what the reception of it is going to be. Instead, just feeling pride, and that's that Leo energy. We're proud that I have done the thing. I've posted, I have published, I have created and colored and used my stickers and got to be childlike in my efforts while designing and filling out all of these pages. And that feels great. That feels like I've accomplished something. It feels like I have already made strides towards that larger goal I have, which would be to do this once a month using my journal for the next year. So that's just an example of how you can use the new moon intentions and full moon releasing sections of this 1st January spread here. You'll see that I have moved on now to the monthly spread. In this space, I have started the weeks on Mondays. This is twofold. For one, I start my work week on a Monday, so that is how I want to look at my week. And secondly, I like looking at my weekends as a pair. So Saturday and Sunday being on the same page and in the same section is something that brings me joy. So that is mainly why I start my weeks on Monday. In a word, on the left-hand side of this page is a place where you can track really anything you want. Maybe it's gratitude for the day. Maybe it's something that made you laugh. Maybe it's something that you're working on or a task that you completed. I personally really enjoy tracking my moon. And I also track where the moon is in the star space in each day. And the reason this is important to me is because in human design, it's a astrology and I Ching and chakra system combination, really fascinating tool. If you don't know what human design is, I encourage you to look that up. I'm a reflector, and what that means is I'm very guided by the energies of the moon. So I like to track my mood in the in a word section of this so I can see themes. I can look at patterns of where my mood and my character like my character is basically on given days of the month, where the moon is in certain star spaces and where it is based on my cycle and a whole bunch of different things. So does it seem a little bit overboard? Maybe. It's also something I've been doing for years though, and I have come to know myself very, very well because of this. So it's definitely something that I encourage, but you can use this space however you feel is necessary. That's what's beautiful about this journal, is that it's pretty open-ended and you get to be as creative as you want. So you can see here, in addition to coloring, I am using these stickers, and these are from a Happy Planner book. I'm not sure which one. I'm also not going to be that person that like links what I'm using or the colors of markers that I'm using, because I just don't care. Maybe I'll care later, but right now is not that time. And then you'll see also at the top right of this page that I have a ritual tracker. So this is like a habit tracker, and there's 24 spaces there. So I am also that person that is a recovering perfectionist. And I say recovering because I spent a lot of my life trying to make everything perfect. And if it wasn't perfect, then I wouldn't do it. Or if it wasn't perfect, then here's a perfect example. Me stumbling over my words right now, old me would just start this recording over. New me, I'm going with the flow. I'm not starting it over. I'm allowing myself to stumble a little bit and make mistakes because it's genuine and it's authentic. And I'm recording this voiceover in one shot. And I love that. I love that about myself, that I have come to this space where I do feel confident just putting my work out into the world and seeing what comes from it. This journal is actually an example of that as well. I started designing this journal just at the beginning of this year, so 2023, and I didn't have any intention of it being put into the world even. I just wanted to see if I could create something that would be more useful and more specific to how I journal and the different systems that support me and my habits and my reflections. Fast forward to October, I finished it and I ended up publishing it, and here we are. And now all of a sudden I have a couple videos up on YouTube. So what's my point? My point is, if I was still in my perfectionism, none of this would be happening. I would be looking at the mistakes that I was making. I would be listening to the sound of my voice going, who sounds like that? I don't know. Judging myself basically. And not allowing my efforts and my creativity and my goals to be met, and my work to be put into the world. So here we are. We have flipped now to one of the first weekly pages, and each page of this journal is a different design that you get to color, to be creative. If it doesn't resonate with you, I encourage you to get some craft paper and glue it on top of the drawing, and you can doodle yourself or however that calls to you. The whole thing is undated, as you can see, and it's also guided. So each day of the week, you can have a small guided prompt to help you just reflect on yourself and on your day. So for example, on this one, Monday says you're looking forward to. So what are you looking forward to for the week? Tuesday is how I showed kindness today. So just putting down any tiny little thing that you did. And I love these prompts because it helps you really lean into awareness and also gratitude. Wednesday says this made me laugh, because who doesn't love to reflect on what made us laugh throughout the day? Thursday says I'm working on. Friday says I love myself because. And these messages in each of the weeks are open-ended. You can use them however you see fit. Maybe you're just writing your task list for the day, things you need to get done, appointments. Like I plan on using this journal just as a day-to-day planner. But you can also use those messaging spaces for maybe an oracle, or like an oracle card of the day, bringing in some mystical moments using tarot or anything like that. So now we're on to the flip through. I've gone right back to the beginning of the journal, and you'll see how I put all of this together in my other YouTube video. This is the year at a glance, and then we're just flipping through, and you can see how I have decorated and designed and used this journal thus far. So here's my monthly all filled out with where the moon is in the sky. And again, back to these messages here. So I personally enjoy using oracle cards for this. I think it's a good way to tap into my intuition and just receive information and gifts from source and from my guides. And I've themed out each of the weeks differently because I get to do that. I can choose to do whatever I want to do, and so can you. So I hope you enjoy, and we will see you in the February time with me.